Hello, students. My name is Teacher Jaira, and welcome to your science class. I hope you all have fun learning and enjoy. Our topic for today is about the basic needs of plants, animals, and humans. I have a question for all of you. What do you need to stay alive? What do your pets need to stay alive? And what do your plants need to stay alive? Each living thing on Earth needs some basic things to survive. The amount, way, form, or kind of these needs vary from organism to organism. Other organisms may have the same needs as we humans. Plants and animals have the same needs as humans. All living things need food, water, and air. The following are the basic needs of living things. We have food, a habitat with the right temperature, sunlight, water, and air. First, we have food. What do we get from foods? Nutrients. Living things need energy to function. Energy is needed to grow, reproduce, move, and to work. Think of what will happen if you stayed for 3 days without food. Were you able to do all the things you usually do without energy? When you stayed for 3 days without food, you will feel exhausted and not feeling well because you don't have the energy to be able to move since you lack nutrients. That will support your overall health. Also, you won't be able to do the things that you would usually do in everyday life since you don't have the energy. That is why we need food as a source of energy so that we can do all the things in our everyday life. As humans, we won't live if we do not eat something because our body needs fuel, and that fuel would be possible through food. Food is an essential need in order for you to live and survive. On the other hand, animals are also the same with humans. Since we are also animals, the only difference is that we are the higher form of animals that has the capacity to relate with other people. I have a question. Do you have pets in your house? What does your pets eat? Usually, if you observe your surroundings and if you have pets at home, you know that the food they consume are not different from us humans. They also eat meat and vegetable to stay healthy and alive. That's why food for animals are also their basic needs. They get their energy from the nutrients they consume from the food they eat. Now let's proceed to plants. Plants also need food, but the way they consume food are different than us humans and animals. Plants make use of the minerals and nutrients from the soil, energy from the sun, and water to make their own food, including carbon dioxide. The process of making their own food is called photosynthesis. In that way, plants grow and are able to reproduce. Next one is we have a habitat with the right temperature. Every living organism needs the ideal temperature to survive either on land or in water. I have a question for all of you. Where do humans live, or where do we live? Where do animals live? Where do plants situate itself? Humans live in their very own house or home. Our home varies in design and style, but nevertheless, our home provides warmth and comfort. When the sun is so hot and when it is raining outside, you have a home to stay. A home is where we are able to rest at the end of the day. Animals also need a home. That is their shelter. Imagine you have a pet dog. A pet dog has its very own shelter. We usually call it a doghouse. That is where our pet dog stays. Every living animal needs shelter. Our shelter or our home protects us from heat, cold, wind, or rain. Animals have different species that live in different habitat that also has different temperature. Some animals live in the desert where it is very hot, and some animals live in the sea or in places where it snows mostly every year and it's very cold. The type of habitat varies from animals to animals, and that is where the right temperature that would fit their needs to live. Plants, on the other hand, also needs a habitat with the right temperature. Just like animals, plants also have different species that varies on what type of temperature they needed to live. For instance, the plant grapes, which is a type of fruit, is situated in an environment that has a cold temperature, where it can grow more fruits and live. Another example is a cactus that is ideal in the desert area since that type of plant is compatible in a dry and hot place. Next basic need we have is sunlight. This is probably the most important need for all living organisms because it is the source of all energy. It also provides heat for plants and animals. For humans, sunlight is a very important need for humans since it has benefits that would help improve our health. When we are exposed to the sun, our skin will absorb vitamin D that helps our body to absorb calcium, which is needed for our bones. Vitamin D from the sun exposure is also beneficial for bone growth, bone healing, and our immune function. Furthermore, sunlight has a lot more to offer to us. We can see because of the light of the sun. Also, sunlight can be our source of electricity, and it can dry our clothes. There are a lot of benefits that sunlight brings us, for at home and in the bigger world. Animals, just like humans, need sunlight to be able to see and observe what is happening in their surroundings. They also need vitamin D, which helps them to absorb calcium and to have a strong bone. Sunlight helps us grow our vegetables and fruits so we can have something to eat. Sunlight is also one of the main needs of plants to make their own food in the process called photosynthesis. Next, we have water. Water is a medium in which living cells and tissue work. Water is also a living environment for many plants and animals. Humans cannot survive if there is no water because our human body consists of over 70% of water. Drinking water every day is essential in maintaining our weight and to increase our energy level. Water also helps in eliminating toxins out of our body. Water supplies our body that keeps us energized and active. For animals, water is also a source of life, just like humans. Animals also need water for survival. It is also a living environment for some animals. Some animals live in water or both land and in water. On the other hand, water is also very important for plants because without water, some plants would not grow and live. It helps plants to reproduce and survive. Next one is we have air. Air is made up of several gases, but the two most important gases are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Without oxygen, animals will die, and without carbon dioxide, plants cannot survive. That is why the air which humans need, called oxygen, is an essential need because the lack of oxygen would stop our heart from breathing. If our heart stops, we can't live. Oxygen is needed wherever and whenever we are. The same as animals also need oxygen to breathe and live. Plants also need air. The air they needed is called carbon dioxide. It helps them to create their own food for survival. Through the carbon dioxide gas, plants make use to conduct the process of photosynthesis. With that, they are able to make their own food. I hope you all understand all things that I have discussed for today. Thank you, class, for listening, and that would be all for today's lesson. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to comment or send me a message so that I can answer your questions. Bye!